You got the job, the apartment, the relationship, and something still felt missing. You looked at someone else's life and felt certain theirs was better. But here's the strange part. The person you were envying was probably looking back at you. This isn't a personality flaw. It's a feature built so deep into your brain it predates language. And understanding why it exists changes everything about how you live. To understand why we're wired to want what we don't have, we first have to understand the brutal survival math our ancestors solved on the African savanna 200,000 years ago. For most of human prehistory, your entire world was a patch of land roughly the size of a city block. Your group, maybe 50 people, ate what that land gave you. When the rains were bad, the roots dried up, and people starved. But just over the ridge, the next group's land was flush with water and game. The individuals who felt that pull, who looked over the ridge and moved, survived. The ones who felt content with what they had often didn't. Over hundreds of thousands of years, evolution quietly selected for dissatisfaction. Contentment was a death sentence. Wait, it gets weirder. This same drive didn't just apply to land, it applied to status, mates, and tools. Whoever had slightly better resources than you was a signal. There was more to be had. Your brain evolved a specific shortcut. Compare up, not down. Looking up at who had more kept you hungry, alert, and alive. Looking down at who had less gave you nothing useful. So the brain learned to ignore it. Psychologists today call this upward social comparison, and it fires automatically without your consent. Here's where it gets dark. For 200,000 years, upward comparison had a natural ceiling. You could only see about 50 people. In your tribe, maybe 3 people were richer, stronger, or luckier than you. The envy was real, but it was bounded, and it motivated you toward achievable goals. Then, around 10,000 years ago, something shifted the entire equation. Agriculture meant people stayed in one place, and villages grew into hundreds, then thousands. Now your comparison pool wasn't 50 people, it was 5,000. And at the top of that pile were kings. Men with more than your whole village combined. The brain's comparison engine was never designed for that scale, but it ran anyway. Fast forward to 1962. A psychologist named Everett Hagen publishes a study that changes how social scientists think about envy. He found that people don't compare themselves to the richest person alive. They compare to whoever is just one step above them. Your reference group, the people you measure yourself against, is called your social comparison target. And here's the cruel twist. That target moves every time you do. You get promoted, and suddenly your neighbor's corner office becomes visible. You move to a nicer neighborhood, and the houses 2 blocks over suddenly feel like the standard. Economists have a term for this, the hedonic treadmill. No matter how fast you run, you end up in the same emotional place. In 1978, Philip Brickman studied lottery winners and found their happiness returned to baseline within 1 year. The same study found accident victims who lost use of their legs reported similar life satisfaction as the winners, within the same time frame. Your brain isn't tracking absolute conditions. It's tracking relative change. And then, in 2009, everything about scale changed forever. Instagram launches. And for the first time in human history, your comparison pool becomes every human on Earth with a camera. A brain designed to handle 50 comparisons per lifetime now processes 50 curated highlight reels before breakfast. And every image you see is a lie. Not maliciously, but structurally. Nobody posts the 3 a.m. anxiety spiral. They post the vacation. So your brain, running ancient software, concludes their grass is genuinely greener. But the grass on the other side isn't greener. It's filtered. The real question isn't why the grass looks greener. It's whether you've ever actually looked down at what's already under your feet. So here's the choice. Keep optimizing for the next patch of green and feel perpetually behind. Or water the ground you're already standing on and risk feeling like you've settled. Which one are you actually doing right now? If this made you think, drop a comment below. I read every single one. And subscribe for more videos like this.